An unpaid internship in this economy? This is Felicity Was Here. Welcome back to Felicity Was Here. I'm Heather.
And I'm Dr. Joe.
And today we're discussing Felicity Season 2, Episode 23, The Biggest Deal There Is. Well, welcome back. As you've noticed, Melissa isn't with us today. She is taking some time away to be with family, and we are sending her lots of love until she returns to the pod. But I know that all of y'all don't want to just hear me and Dr. Joe spar all episodes, so we invited a fellow Felicity superfan, podcaster, and Midwesterner to guest co-host with us for the Season 2 finale. So everyone, please welcome Kurt to the pod. Hello, Kurt.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm honored. I really am. I'm definitely thinking about Melissa. I hope she's doing okay. But thank you for having me on. When Dr. Joe asked me, I was super excited.
Well, thank you for,
we're
honored.
Yeah, I remember when I stumbled across your podcast, just wondering if anybody out there had a Felicity podcast, and I started listening to it and just absolutely loved it. So thank you so much.
Well, you were one of the first people to email us and share your thoughts, if not the first person.
I think the first, yeah.
Yeah, I think the very first person to email us and share your thoughts, and that you just knew how much of a labor of love a podcast can be, because you are a fellow podcaster. We're so grateful for your early support of the pod, and it's kind of feels very full circle to have you on today.
Yeah, when I fired that email off, I never in a million years thought I would be on here, but I'm really glad I am, so thank you.
So Kurt, tell us a little bit, or tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, your podcast, and maybe when you started watching Felicity and why you're such a big fan.
My name's Kurt Konechny. I do a podcast with my friend Krista called The Strange Sessions. It's all about paranormal stuff and mysteries. Krista and I are in a ghost investigation group together. So we're both just like hardcore fans of the paranormal stuff and like the weird stories and stuff. So we've been doing that podcast since 2017.
Oh my gosh.
Which is pretty crazy because it's been a while. You know, and we thought it was going to be a handful of friends and family listening, and then gradually more people started coming in, and we're getting up to like 400,000 downloads coming up. So it's been pretty crazy. And I think our listeners probably get so sick of hearing me gush about Felicity because I do bring it up a lot on the show. But I started watching Felicity when it premiered. I saw the first airing of it. I remember reading somewhere that there was this showcase where they show like the potential new television series. And everybody said, what other show that you saw here do you wish your network had? And everybody said Felicity. And then they kind of talked a little bit about what the show was about. And I was a hardcore Dawson's Creek fan back in the day. Like I love Dawson's Creek. And I love college, and I don't know why I love college so much, but when I saw that it was about a girl in college, I decided I would check it out. So I started watching it, and I just like instantly fell in love with it. The pilot is still one of the best things I think I've ever seen. And somewhere around the Todd Mulcahy episodes, I ended up missing a couple. So then that was back in the days before streaming. So you couldn't
catch up,
you know, so no. So I was like, well, crap, I'm not going to watch it anymore. But I did watch the season finale because I wanted to see how it ended with the big, is she going with Ben? Is she going with Noel? And then I watched the first episode of the second season, and then I ended up stopping watching it again somehow.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. And then fast forward 10 years later, I was by my friend Aaron's house, and his sister was there, and she was selling stuff. And she goes, Kurt, you watched Felicity, didn't you? And I said, yeah. And she goes, do you want to buy? She had the DVD set of the series. She's like, do you want this for $5? And I said, hell yeah, for $5, I'll take that. So I bought it. And one thing that not a lot of people, I don't even know if I told Dr. Joe this, but it took me forever to watch seasons 2, 3, and 4 because I love season 1 so much.
Aw.
To this day,
Yeah.
that's my comfort show. That's my happy place. Like, there's something magical about season 1. And that's what I talk about on the Strange Session sometimes, is that there's just something magical about it. Like the lighting, the muted sunlight, the brown colors. Like, there's something about it that's just really soothing. So then I finally stepped up and watched the rest of the series, and it was great, just like I thought it would be. And I love it. It's my second favorite TV show after MASH. MASH is always going to be my number one. But that season 1 of Felicity, I don't know if anything will ever beat that.
It's so damn
And
cozy.
so the thing is, when I started watching it, I was 100% Team Noel. I just absolutely adored Felicity and Noel. And it was always like something I was really proud of, that my friends that watched the show all told me that I completely reminded them of Noel. And I'm like, that's awesome. And then when I watched it, like 10 years later, when I started watching it again, I was like, oh, I'm like, Noel's kind of problematic in some ways.
You're like, wait, should I be offended?
And yeah, and it's like, yeah, I was like, oh, thanks, I guess. And then I was kind of like on the fence. And then when I did my latest rewatch, I'm like, Ben's her soulmate. Ben is the one she should be with. I still love Noel, but I think Ben is the one for her. And my Dr. Joe knows this. My big Felicity crunch would be Sansa, but she's only on for a couple episodes because I'm a sucker for Russian accents. And I was like, when I was watching it, when it aired, I'm like, this is going to be awesome. I love this girl. She's going to be on here. And then she just kind of disappeared. And I want to be able to say that my big crunch on the show would be Ruby, because I absolutely adore Amy Smart as an actress. I have ever since I saw her in Rat Race, which is a really funny, really underrated movie. But watching it, like when I was watching this episode, it's like Julie's my girl. I know that. Yeah. I know that. I don't know if it's the tortured singer-songwriter trope, but I just absolutely love Julie. And I know that's a hot take because a lot of people kind of aren't fans of Julie, but there's just something about her that I really love. So
look, I don't think she's a girl's girl, so maybe that's why us girls aren't big fans.
That's fair.
But like the boys liked her, so yeah.
Yeah. But I do really like Ruby, so Ruby would be my second place. Like Felicity, I talked about it on the podcast that I have a bucket list, and like hugging Carrie Russell's on my bucket list just because I adored her in Felicity. I adored her in The Americans, and I just want to give her a hug. Like Felicity's the one I would want to be my best friend. You know, like I just adore her. So I would like to hug her someday, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
If I ever saw her, I'd probably cry. That's one of those celebrities that I would probably cry.
Yeah. Greg Grunberg too.
Oh,
you know, Sean.
yeah.
Like I want to hug him too. So I just, like I said, this show is my happy place.
I don't think these are out of the realm of possibility. I think that we might be able to hug them someday. I think all of us could.
I hope
with the
so.
revival thing happening, like, and
Oh
our
my
role
God,
in that,
I hope so.
think that things can happen.
I really hope so. I really hope that pans out. And what gives me hope is that all of the cast seemed like really receptive to it. Like they would do it. You know, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed too that this happens.
Same. Awesome. Well, we are going to dive into the biggest deal there is today. So we're super happy that you're here for the finale. First, we do have some more listener mail to get to. So we had an email from our friend Jamie. She says that she just wanted to let us know that she really enjoyed our coverage of season 2. She says, I'm sad that it's coming to an end as my love for the show Felicity pretty much ends with season 2. The show goes from character-driven stories to more plot-driven stories in season 3 and 4. But I'm sure it will still be interesting to hear you cover those seasons and hear what resonates with you and what does not. So before season 2 ends, wanted to ask, what were your top 3 and bottom 3 episodes of the season? I also wanted to ask one of the questions you asked your guests last week, which was, what are your Felicity hot takes? Also, do you have any casting ideas on who should play Felicity's daughter in the revival? So we've got a lot of questions,
Great questions.
to answer. Yes. And I will
Very
say just
loaded
a reaction.
questions,
I do think season 3 and 4 do get more plotty rather than character driven. So like I agree on that. But I still think there's a lot of different storylines and arcs that are going to be really fun to dig into. I mean, we learned so much more about some of the characters in the future seasons, and there's always juicy drama with the relationships too. So I'm still excited for 3 and 4, but I agree, like 1 and 2 to me, well, season 1 is perfection. Season 2,
oh my God, yes.
second half
Mixed
is
bag.
pretty much perfection. Yeah. Second
Yeah,
half
the
is
second
pretty
half
much
was good.
perfection. So, all right, I did my homework. I put a lot of thought into these questions. So, first of all, top 3 episodes and bottom 3 episodes of season 2. Who wants to take this first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So my number 3 best episode of this season is The Biggest Deal There Is. I think this is such a good episode. My number 2 best episode is The Depths. I love The Depths. Yeah.
I just got chills.
Yep. I love that episode. I saw it when it first aired, and I was like, I love this. And, now looking back, it's so J.J. Abrams with what he did there. So I love that. But of course, the number 1 episode has to be The Aretha Theory. That is the best episode. Yeah.
Solid.
Yep. Do you want my worst? Or are we going to keep doing best?
Dr. Joe, maybe what's your top 3? And then
Okay.
we'll do
So I've got 5. Just kidding.
overachiever. No.
I know. No, don't ever say that to me. That's like, I hate that. Okay. So I've got the biggest, I can't really rank them, but just as a clump, the biggest still there is the Aretha Theory. And I couldn't decide between Final Answer and Ben Was Here, but just like that little clump of episodes. But I did have an honorable mention for The Depths because I was like, I really wanted to include it. So that, that might be number 3. I might have to say the biggest deal there is Aretha Theory and The Depths if I was going to be really hardcore. But yeah, that clump of episodes and The Depths would be my top 3/top 5.
Wow. The
Yeah.
Depths. I mean,
I know.
I will say on this rewatch, because we went so deep on the analysis, I appreciate it much more than I used to. I used to skip it every single time on a rewatch because I just hate the conflict, like my tummy.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it so much more.
Conflict's
So
my life
it's not
source.
so it's not in my bottom 3 anymore.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. Okay, so my top 3, my number 3 is also The Biggest Deal There Is. This episode, yeah, it's very good. My number 2 is The List. Like when I think of iconic Felicity episodes, to me, I think of the red dress. I think of the blush on the nipples. Like it's just the RA stuff. Like it's so iconic in my mind, that episode. And the speech she gives at the end to Ben is just so girl power, Miss Independent type of stuff. So, and then my number 1, we've said it before many times, The Aretha Theory. Can't beat it. Yeah. All right, Kurt, you want to take your bottom 3?
My number 3 on my bottom 3 is Getting Lucky, just because it killed me when Lucky was put to sleep.
Aw.
It bothered me. That was hard. So I did not like that. My number 2 is Family Affairs, which is weird because Thanksgiving is actually my favorite episode of the show.
Yeah.
But this one was so tense, and this one just gave me too much anxiety. So I just didn't that was my number 2 is Family Affairs. And my number 1, and I hate saying this, is Help for the Lovelorn. It's a brilliant Twilight Zone, episode, but I don't care for the heart storyline. If it would have stayed with them in the box, that would have been great, and we would have had more of the getting to know their psychology and stuff better. But I just thought the whole heart thing was a little heavy-handed. But I will say that the way it was shot, everything about it was just brilliant. And I was a huge fan of the Twilight Zone when I was a kid, and I still am. And they just nailed everything about it. I just didn't like the storyline. It says a lot for this season that I really had a struggle picking 3 that I didn't like, because I think it's a really solid season for the most part.
That's very generous.
Help for the
of you.
Lovelorn was almost my honorable mention for you guys had The Depths. I think that would have been my honorable mention if I had picked one, because
I knew it.
It's not quintessential Felicity, but it was so experimental.
It's special.
It's really special, but I couldn't say it was one of my favorite of the whole season that I would rewatch over and over and over and gives me all the feels. But it was just such a cool episode. But yeah, interesting in your bottom 3. All right, Dr. Joe.
Okay, so I also had Getting Lucky in there. And I didn't do 3, 2, and 1, but Getting Lucky, Ancient History. And I couldn't decide between The Love Bug and Crash. And basically, almost the entire first half of the season was a pit for me. It was really, rough the first half of the season. So, but yeah, those Getting Lucky, Ancient History, and The Love Bug and or Crash would probably be the bottom 3, bottom 4. It was hard for me to pick because there were so many not great ones at the top half for me.
You had a lot of issues.
I did. I was going through some personal things too on this rewatch, so that did not help. I'll just put that out there. So I brought probably more negativity than was necessary and reflective of the actual content of the show, but here we are.
I mean, that's art for you. You see different things each time.
At
and
different
you interpret
times,
things.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's very true.
All right, well, my bottom 3, I'm also not going to rank these. It was hard for me as well to pick like a straight up bottom 3 because there were so many that were just kind of mid. Like I didn't hate a lot of them, but there was just a bunch that were kind of like all a little in the middle. But Truth or Consequences for me, which was like the main episode of the Ruby's pregnancy storyline with the pregnancy test and the song. I can't just skip it. I also had Ancient History. Again, the tension between Felicity and Noel makes my tummy hurt. And then I also thought maybe Portraits. I almost picked another Ruby pregnancy one, True Colors, but I think we ended up liking that on Rewatch with the painting party and all that. So I was like, I think that one we revised. We're like, no, that was a good episode. So yeah, I picked Portraits because it's like post and Thanksgiving and all that. And it was just like a weird... maybe her and Noel will get together, but then they didn't. I don't know. It just was kind of weird. So those were my bottom 3.
I support that.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I didn't pick any of the David ones because I think they're funny. I mean, Getting Lucky, yes, I feel bad for the dog, but I think, the metaphor is funny. So anyway. All right. Hot takes.
Oh boy. Kurt.
I mean, there's already been some hot takes here.
Yeah, really? What haven't
I
we
love
covered?
Julie. That's a hot take. No, my hot take is that, and I don't want to really say much about it because I don't want, just in case people are watching these for the first time as we're talking about them.
So spoiler.
I want to say,
spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Okay.
spoiler alert.
Okay.
But I just want to say that I think the last 5 episodes of the series are brilliant. I really do. And I know, I know a lot of people.
I love them.
I like, for him to wrap up the show so perfectly and for them to come back and be like, hey, guess what? We need 5 more episodes. I love what he did. I thought it was brilliant because I understand people's dislike of it because all of a sudden they're throwing timey-wimey things into this, this realistic show. But I loved it because who wouldn't want to go back and see how things would be if they did something different or told somebody they loved them?
Yep.
So I just think what he did was brilliant. So that's my hot take.
I'll just expand on that because that was my hot take.
Sure.
Was like I actually like the last arc because there were hints of this throughout the show anyway, like the kind of the mystical, metaphysical, whatever you want to call it. I mean, we've got Meghan's spells, the Force, we've got the Twilight Zone, we've got the box. I mean, there are hints of that already. And like you said, everyone always thinks, what if I had chosen this? What if I had done this? What if I chose this other guy? We see Felicity does this all the time too, right? She's always like, oh, I should have done this or that, or this didn't work out.
Lean all the way in.
And Sliding Doors is one of my favorite movies. And like, it feels like Sliding Doors to me. It's like, wait, what if I had just that one night picked a different path, chose a different guy? So yeah, I also love the episodes.
Cool.
Well, that's not my hot take, and I'll add on to it anyway because the different responses from Ben and Noel is what will always push me to be Team Ben versus Team Noel because of the different ways they reacted. I'm like, oh, that's for real. Like, that's like love. So those episodes for that reason too, that it just highlights that even more for me, their relationship and why I would choose them over the Felicity and Noel. My hot take, I don't know how hot it is. Basically, at the beginning of the season 2, I struggled a lot with Noel and his attitude towards Felicity. And I think it should have taken a lot longer for them to make up and be friends again, if they were even going to be friends at all. I think he needed to earn that back because he was just so nasty. And I just can't ever let that go. I can't drop it. I'm not going to. So I feel like they kind of rushed that resolution. Even though it felt kind of dragged out at the same time, I feel like, I don't know. I don't think he earned it back. Like, I think she was way too easy on him with that. And further, I don't think that Noel ever really had deep feelings for her to begin with. I don't think that they had a solid friendship in season 1. I think it was lust at first sight, and he wasn't really a genuine friend to her because he had kept Hannah a secret. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a friendship. That sounds like he was just trying to get with her the whole time. It just didn't seem like the authenticity that I would be looking for in a friendship. So that's my hot take. I could go on, but I'm not going to because others probably going to need a defibrillator for all they see.
I mean, that's your opinion. That is a hot take, and that is a hot take. Yeah.
No, I get it because I always felt like Noel is in love with the idea of being in love. Like it's an
Yeah, there you
ideal
go.
for him. And
Yeah.
after he would have met somebody else, and after Felicity, you know, he would have met somebody else. And I just think he was in love with the idea of being in love. So I understand that. I understand what you're
Or
saying.
yeah, or like winning over somebody else. Like it didn't seem
Yeah.
like it was about
Yeah.
her. It was about like winning.
Yeah, about beating Ben.
Yes, exactly. So that's what made it feel like less genuine to me. So I was like, I don't think that's like cute or romantic or whatever.
I still love him. I still love Noel, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he has some value. Yes.
You're like,
Well,
somewhere there
I'm
must.
finding it. I'm finding it.
Oh, man. All right. And then, third question, fan casting for Felicity's daughter, Frances.
Hardest
in the
question
revival.
ever. What a question.
I have one that I really like.
You go for it.
Let's hear it. Lay it on us.
It is an actress named Thomasin McKenzie. Like, if you do a search on her, she looks like a young Felicity, kind of. In some of the pictures, I could 100% see her being Felicity's daughter.
Oh,
really do.
She was in Jojo Rabbit, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I saw a couple pictures of her online, and I'm like, oh my God, she looks like Felicity. So that was my guess, was Thomasin McKenzie.
That's a good one.
I spent so much time on my computer Googling young actresses that I'm probably on some
You're like,
FBI
yes.
watch list right now.
Exactly. I was like, I don't know.
As long as you keep
oh my
it
God,
18
she
and
does
up,
look like
it's
just
okay.
like her.
Yeah.
Wow.
She does.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. Okay, I see the picture. Yeah, that's a good one. That was hard though, because I was like, what? I don't watch like the age that they need to be cast as her daughter properly. Like, I don't watch that stuff that they would be in. I mean, like, I love YA shows, but I just haven't been watching them lately. So this was like, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I was Googling my ass off, but I came up with 3 possibilities.
But my hot take for this is I would kind of like to see a son instead of a daughter, because we've already seen
okay.
from a female perspective, from Felicity
Yeah.
going through college, it would be interesting
Different
to see
lens.
a different lens. But I'm not against being a female, but I just think it would be interesting to see her dealing with a son in college.
Mm. Yeah, and it's, I guess, not clear to, I mean, we have no idea what is going to happen, but like, it's not clear how much of the son or daughter or son that we would see. Like, are they going to have their own plot points and we're going to see them in college? Or, you know, I have no idea. So that might be interesting too, as a son.
Interesting thought right there. So Heather, you go next.
Okay. Agreed. I don't watch a lot of, I used to watch more YA shows as well.
Yeah,
I feel like the
like
last
I binged
one
the Vampire Diaries. That's
Yeah,
like a few
I
years
mean,
ago.
that's
Like,
so old,
shit like
though.
that, I'll eat it
That's
up.
so
I know,
old.
it's old. Like all the stuff that I would watch that's YA stuff is like old shit.
Yeah. Or it's like Stranger Things. And to me, I'm like, they're all famous. Like, I kind of want, that part of me always wants like a newcomer to get a shot rather than just going with the same faces we always see. So like in my very limited knowledge of very young talent, like, man, I would almost rather see someone new. But there was one person that immediately came to mind because I was like, we need someone with curly hair. Like I need to see more curly hair on screen. And I thought of the actress who played Joe's daughter. Is that who you thought of too?
Joel?
I was like, Joel's daughter. What did I say?
Joe?
Oh, sorry. Joel's daughter in The Last of Us. I looked up her name. It's Nico Parker. And I just like immediately thought of her, curly hair, and her being Felicity's daughter. She's apparently British and the daughter of Tandy Newton, I think. And
she says her name differently now. It's like Tawande.
She does?
Yeah.
Or Tandiwe. Yes.
Yeah,
Tandiwe Newton. Yeah.
Okay.
She has such Felicity hair in some of these pictures.
Right?
That's awesome.
So like she was the very first person that came to mind, even though I know no other young people.
Yep. You can't see it, but it's there. That was my number 1 too.
Okay, I figured because you thought of someone. I'm like, it might be the same person because I know you watch this show.
Yeah.
So she was my number one. And then I did have to Google around for other young people. The second person that kind of came up in my search that I was like, oh, yeah, I think she'd be great. Millicent Simmons, who played the daughter in A Quiet Place.
Oh.
She has kind of wavy hair too. Again, I'm basing all of this on like curly hair.
Sure.
So I thought she could be cool. And I think she's a little bit older, but she looks young. Like I think you could young her up a little bit. And then the third person actually came up in my Instagram Discover feed. And I was like, oh my gosh, she'd be great. Well, actually, it was her sister who came up first, but then I was like, we need someone younger. Iris Apatow. If you know Judd Apatow's daughters, Maud Apatow, and Iris is the younger one. Again, curly hair. I think you could young her up too. They have very like sweet, innocent young faces. So those were my three that I thought of. I did a lot of research and thought.
I only did one, but a second one I had is an actress named Chloe East, who I think looks a lot like Felicity in some pictures too, and I could 100% see her pulling it off.
Chloe East. I don't think I know her.
Oh, I can see it in the eyes. Yeah. Yeah, she does. Yeah, if you curl her hair up, she would. Oh my gosh, yeah. Good one.
Mm-hmm. They have the same face shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent way more time on that than I expected to. I was like looking through all these actresses.
You do like movie stuff, even though you haven't seen like movies, you've seen other movies. Like you've seen like the most obscure shit.
Yeah, but I haven't seen like Dirty Dancing. I haven't seen,
Don't even do it. Don't even.
Oh
yeah, we won't. No, I'll just annoy you if I keep talking about that.
That'll be a whole other podcast episode, like, and I'll need to like have my therapist on speed dial. I'll be like, oh my gosh, but we still love him. I had Nico Parker as my number one. I loved her performance, even, albeit very brief in The Last of Us. I loved her. I did have Sadie Sink just because I don't know like any other. I liked her performance too in Stranger Things, and like you were saying, like it'd be cool if we had some like lesser known people, but whatever. I thought
of her too, but
I thought she could work. And then I had Bailey Madison. She was in Pretty Little Liars. What's it called? Something Original Sin. It was like the spinoff that was on HBO recently. I really liked that show.
Oh, I recognize her.
I bet I was watching. I think I tried to get Heather to watch it, but she doesn't like scary
I've
stuff.
watched the original, not any of the spinoffs.
Yeah, but it was like, it's good spooky season watch, so if anybody wants to watch...
I'm finishing a rewatch of the original one right now for spooky season, so I'll move to Original Sin. Okay,
yeah,
I'll move to that.
This is good timing, good spooky season stuff, because I've been in spooky season since the end of August, so those are my
I could
three.
See it. I just looked her up. I could see that too.
I liked her performance
she
in
looks
the show
familiar.
too.
Is she a Disney? Oh, I guess Pretty Little Liars is kind of Disney-ish.
Yep. So there we go. That was like the toughest question ever, though. But I really appreciated Jamie asking it, because it was like, oh my gosh, like who could it be? That would be like, that's important. That'd be important to get that right.
Well, I love all of the hot takes. There were so many, not just the official hot takes. Alrighty, so let's get into the episode. So as a reminder, last time Felicity was offered a summer internship in New York City, but it would keep her apart from Ben all summer, who was going back to Palo Alto. Ruby left UNY to go home to Colorado to have her baby, leaving Noel devastated. Sean and Meghan hooked up after he caught Julie kissing Noel, and Elena stopped her and Tracy from having sex in a moment of weakness. And Javier asked Ben to ush for his wedding and Felicity to be his best man. So The Biggest Deal There Is was written by J.J. Abrams and directed by Jack Bender. So we open on some sexy time with Felicity and Ben. Dr. Joe, do you have your ice bucket next to you?
I've got pretty cold water. I should have gotten a spray. Oh, I do have my spray bottle now. Got a water bottle, so I'm gonna need it.
So as they are fooling around, she tells Sally that sex is a big deal. That's one thing she's learned in college. So Ben asks her if she wants to, and she says not yet.
Girl, how? How?
I was waiting for that. I'm like, how? Yeah.
Like, no, seriously, like the willpower, like, what? Good for her.
Yep. So in the loft, Meghan wakes up refreshed and then realizes she is in Sean's bed. So then she freaks out and she's scrambling to get out and to keep Sean quiet so that no one hears that she's up there. So Sean says he had fun last night. She's like, yeah, good, whatever. Gets dressed, says, okay, thanks, and leaves. Poor Sean. I do feel bad for Sean.
I felt so bad for Sean. Poor guy. You don't want to just hear thanks while they're scrambling to get out of the room.
And he like just got quasi-dumped by Julie too. It's like one after another. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey man, he still got laid, so I'm not like feeling too bad for him. Like I'm sure he's not feeling too bad either. My question was, though, would he have been okay having sex in the loft? Because, like, I'm like, obviously Meghan wouldn't give a fuck, like who hears or sees what. But I'm like, there's no, like, doors or walls up there. So I'm like, how was he, like, okay with that? Like, if he was just like, well, I was just like,
Yeah.
how would that work? And how would he be okay with
I
it?
mean, Ben and Felicity are in Ben's room doing
I was gonna
whatever.
say, yeah.
But, like, if
But
somebody, like, walks out to go to the bathroom or get something to drink or, you know, whatever, it's like...
We're going to hear a little bit later in the episode that it's kind of easy for them to hear when somebody's
I
having
guess
sex
so,
in
I guess
the
so.
loft.
Well, yeah, yeah, if you can hear it behind a closed door, certainly you could hear it in an open loft. So I was surprised that Sean would be okay with that, because I feel like Sean's, like, a little bit more reserved in that sense than Meghan, certainly. But I don't know. I was just curious about that. I was
like you said, he was probably just, like, grateful. Yeah, like, wherever you want, Meghan.
well, guess I gotta do what I gotta do.
I mean, maybe it was in the bathroom and then they, transitioned up to the block. I don't know, but I don't think he's going to say no.
I guess not. He didn't.
Yeah. So as Meghan walks down the stairs, Felicity comes out of Ben's room at the same time and sees her, causing Meghan to tell her that if she tells anyone, she's basically going to die. She's like, you swear to God that if you tell one person, you will be struck down and people you love will die. Felicity's like, no, I won't tell anyone. And then Meghan says, Sean's pretty amazing. Plus, it's the first time I've had sex on my back.
I laughed so damn hard the first time I was watching that episode when she said that.
And when she does the, like, damn it forehead thing, that, like, cut to commercial, that has me dying, rolling on the floor.
It's so funny.
So then Felicity tells Sally that she's going to turn down the internship. And this summer is just going to be so amazing with Ben. So Felicity goes to tell Professor Morton, and Morton shows Felicity that a guest curator, Calhoun, is going to be working with them in his private studio all summer. Apparently, he's this very inspiring artist, and Felicity is now in a pickle because she wants to work with Calhoun. So then back at the loft, Ben asks Sean and Richard, who are, like, cooking together now, like husband and wife.
That was such a good scene.
It is. So Ben asks them if Felicity called. He's worried that she's getting sucked into this internship and staying all summer because she hasn't packed yet. He's like, it's not looking good. Richard asks, oh, want to know where I'm going? Ben's like, no, where are you going? Says Palm Beach. Ben's like, oh, yeah? And walks away. He does not care.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Ben, he opens his eyes so wide, like he's so interested. It's so funny.
And leaves. Yeah. So then Ben asks Sean what Sean thinks he should do. Is like, well, you can't switch jobs. You got to pay for college, right? So then Julie comes out of her room in a hideous dress, shows the guys. She apparently has to wear that all summer at work. And Sean gives her a message that Carol Anderson called, which shocks her because last time we saw Carol, she basically wasn't willing to claim Julie publicly, being her daughter.
Ouch.
So she takes the message and goes to her room, and Ben tells Sean that Carol is her birth mother. Julie just can't catch a break.
No.
The writers really
put her through
They
it.
gave her so much to deal with. I mean, kind of a spoiler, but I can see why she left the show. Like, it's gotta be just so much every week.
I just feel like they could have done so much more with her and Elena. I feel like Elena got screwed so bad that there wasn't really much, and there were so many opportunities. And Julie, it just seems like they would just heap stuff on her just for the sake of torturing her more. Yeah, just for the sake of heaping.
Yeah.
I also thought it was interesting that she kissed Noel last episode. They never talk. We never see them talk. Like, what was that? Are you into me? And then, like, this episode, it's like they never even happened.
Like, it didn't happen.
Yeah. And there was no resolution with Julie's crush with Noel. It was just like, okay, let's put her mom back in the picture. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, too. Like, they dropped the ball on wrapping that up.
I didn't think the dress was hideous. I thought she looked kind of cute.
It wasn't.
If anyone can pull it off, she'll pull it off. But yeah, I didn't love it.
I do think that's true. I think, like, with the right accessories and shoes, she can make it work. But it wouldn't be my first choice.
I think it was just overwhelming her frame. She's so petite.
There,
it was a lot on her.
Too square.
Yeah.
That's
too much sleeve. So then Felicity, we go back to Felicity, who's with Professor Morton, and Felicity tells her, you know how much I want to work with you, but this thing, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Morton says, "You're kidding." Felicity's like, "No." He's like, "Well, if you can't, you can't." Felicity says, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Girl, you don't need to apologize to Morton. Apologize to yourself. You're the one that asked her for this internship, and now you're like, oh, I can't." Oh, I couldn't.
I'm pretty sure it was a majority of the audience, too, that was going, "You're kidding."
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And I like how Morton didn't like be like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" She's just like, "Well, if you can't, you can't. Them's the bikes, you know?" Like, she's just moving on. She didn't care.
I mean, yeah, opportunity of a lifetime. She can find anyone to go do that. You know, she's not going to be hard up to find someone to fill the role. So
I think it would have been cool, though, if they had mentioned this Calhoun character earlier in the season so we knew how meaningful it was. Like, if he was referenced at some point, or, like, we saw her in art classes more, like, at all, like, besides the first half of the season. Like, if that had been a little bit more consistent and, like, had name dropped him, that would have been kind of a little bit more weight to it, to be like, oh my gosh, it's that guy that you're, like, really obsessed with and think he's amazing. Like, of course. Like, why? Of course. So that kind of was like, eh.
Yeah, that makes sense. So then at Dean and DeLuca, Javier tells Ben he took his heart rate and he basically should be having a heart attack right now. He tries to tell Ben what's wrong. He says his cousin Natalie, who's basically a psycho, has just arrived. So Samuel brings Natalie to the coffee shop, and it's the Dorito girl. If no one remembers, the Dorito.
I remember the Dorito girl.
Who she is.
I mean,
that's her identity.
I went to her IMDb to see if there was like anything else big that she was in. Not really. No.
She kind of just like fell off the radar.
Yeah.
Do you know about the thing with her and Mario Lopez? Like
I saw
looked
they were
that. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Hang on, I got it in my notes here. Because I went down the Allie Landry rabbit hole because I'm like, I don't remember she existed until I watched these episodes. And I'm like, oh
exactly.
yeah. It says Landry met actor and TV personality Mario Lopez when he presented the Miss Teen USA 1998 pageant, and she was a commentator.
Oh,
they were engaged during, they were in.
Like Teen USA, oh no.
I know, I was like getting my barf bag ready.
Yeah.
They were engaged during the summer of 2003 and married on April 24th, 2004. 2 weeks later, she had the marriage annulled after learning that Lopez was unfaithful during his bachelor party right before the wedding.
Oh, shit.
Girl.
Yeah.
I mean, good for her for shutting that down, but...
Yeah. So I was proud of her for that. But I just, you know, like,
Mario.
she was a decent actress. I just wish I feel bad. I wish she would have amounted to more than just being the Doritos girl.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes, though, like, sometimes people who we say fell off, like, they ended up doing, like, directing or producing or, like, doing play stuff. So I don't know if she did any of that, but just a public service announcement to anybody who's like, oh, they disappeared. Maybe they didn't. Sometimes people are just doing different things and they're not in front of the camera unless, they're just somewhere else. So,
or she wanted to disappear. Maybe she was like,
sometimes they like straight up retire. Like, what's his face on 90210? He retired. He went into the Air Force, I think. So it happens sometimes.
What's his face?
Brian Austin Green's best friend on the show. Scanlon was the last name, but I just can't remember his first name.
Oh, not Scott? The Sharknado guy. Or wait,
no,
Brian Austin Green Sharknado?
No.
Sharknado guy.
Okay. Oh, well, this reminds me.
Is Sharknado, right?
Well, I shouldn't give away too many spoilers because Kurt and I are going to do a rewatch podcast.
Yeah.
Which I forgot to announce at the top of the episode because, as long as Chris
I totally forgot about that too.
I know. I was so excited about it too. Well, as long as we're talking about it, Kurt and I are launching a 90210 rewatch podcast in, wait for it, 2027. Drumroll.
It's a little ways away.
It's
like literally all I know about 90210 is that Shannon Doherty was on it, and I think that's the one where somebody fell down the stairs and it was a big deal, but maybe that was Melrose Place.
She didn't fall down. She was pushed down by her abusive boyfriend.
Okay, pushed down. I knew there were stairs involved.
Yes,
that's all I know.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch it.
Yes. But anyway, so save the date for 2027. Stay tuned for more info.
So back to the Dorito girl, Allie Landry. Natalie comes into Dean and DeLuca with Samuel, gets introduced to Ben. So Samuel and Javier start chatting about the wedding off to the side. Javier warns Ben that Natalie's the devil.
Oh my gosh.
Devil horns.
I love the devil horns.
Oh, so good. And Ben makes her a latte and chats with her as she looks him up and down.
She had the googly eyes.
Yes, she did.
She was, inspecting the merchandise for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And she lets him...
Can we blame her?
She let him know that she's starting grad school at UNY in the fall. So we may see more
An
of
older
Natalie.
woman. You know how he likes older women.
No. I didn't even think of that. That's why Crash almost made my bottom 3, because I think that was the first episode we met Maggie. And I was like, I hate it.
Yeah, that was a rough time for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Maggie either.
I mean, Terry Porter, great, but Maggie, no. Terry Polo, not Porter.
Polo.
Oh my God. I'm also having brain issues, apparently. So then in the bathroom, Felicity runs into Pavone. I was so happy we get a little more Pavone in this finale. So Pavone tells Felicity congrats on the internship. She says, I hear you have the coolest summer plans of anyone. Felicity, you can like hear the dread in her voice of like telling Pavone what's going on. Felicity's like, yeah, that fell through. I just decided to go back home for the summer. Pavone says to spend time with your mom. She says that no, her dad is actually home and it sounds like they're going to try and make it work. So then Pavone comes out of the bathroom stall, says, you're doing it to be with Ben, aren't you? Felicity's
I
like,
love that you can see the gears turning up there. Yeah.
And Pavone's like, look, it's the end of the year. I know you're not, my patient student, whatever anymore, but what the hell? It's the end of the year. She's like, I know you. I know Ben. I know what this internship is. Take the internship. Don't throw away an opportunity to become a more interesting person out of fear.
That's one of my favorite quotes from the TV show, from Felicity. That is one of my favorite quotes
one of my
from
favorite
Felicity.
scenes.
Yep.
Yeah. So good. Felicity's like, fear? Like, what do I have to be scared of? She's like, of losing Ben. She's like, oh, I'm not afraid of losing. I'm just choosing to be with him this summer. So Pavone says, look, these opportunities do not come around often. And if you and Ben make it, which she hopes that they do because she loves that kid, then they'll be there for each other long after all this is done. And that's what love is about. And Felicity says, look, no one's ever said love. Pavone says, well, in that case, definitely take the internship. And I'm like, yep, go Pavone. Literally, like, Felicity just keeps digging deeper and deeper. Like, and then it said love. Like, well, then, yeah, why are you giving up this huge opportunity? Like, I want to shake her. So Pavone says, well, I only give the really good advice in the bathroom. Felicity leaves the bathroom feeling certain that Pavone is wrong and a little resentful. And then she sees Ben chatting with Natalie at Dean and DeLuca, and she realized this time was no different.
Now, that annoyed me because I'm like, oh my God, they're just throwing this girl in there now as an obstacle. And they didn't go that route, which I was really surprised about because I was sure they were going to.
I'm glad they didn't.
The easy out of doing that, just throwing a girl in there and all of a sudden it's another complication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't like the little sprinkling of it to like try to trick us. It's like, no, don't ruin this. Like, leave it alone.
But I thought it was brilliant to prove Pavone's point and to make Felicity realize, like, you can be in the same city and like you're afraid of losing him and I got to be with him all summer, otherwise we might not make it. And it's like, yeah, like you literally work in the same place and he can still be chatting it up with another pretty girl.
I mean, I wouldn't be worried about losing the relationship. I'd be worried about losing, spending time together. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'd be like. That's what I don't want to lose out on. Go dunk yourself. Yeah. But I mean, he's charming. I get it. I get why she would be scared. Like seeing them together, like there was chemistry. He's flirty. Like, I don't know.
Well, you said
he's charming.
I'll never forget when you said he could have chemistry with a mop. Because
mop.
Yeah, like it's him. It's oozing off of him.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anybody talking about ribs as happily as they look to be talking and laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a spark everywhere he goes. It doesn't matter who he's talking to.
Which I think is why I've always would pick Noel, because like that just would stress me out. I would never. No, I'd be like, nah, he's always going to be going for someone hotter.
Yeah.
Somebody's always going to be going for him. That's different.
That was too much stress. Too much stress.
That's exciting. Just kidding.
Okay, doctor.
Okay.
So then back in Ben's bed, Felicity asks Ben, what would he do about the internship? And instead of answering, he asks, so you regret not taking it? She's like, no, I'm just reviewing it. She says that she just had this feeling when she saw him talking to Natalie. He's like, we were talking about ribs. She's from Texas. They've got good ribs.
Oh boy.
Felicity's like, no, it's not, it's not even about Natalie, really. It's that even in the same city, she can't babysit their relationship. So then Ben says he thinks she should take the job. Felicity's like, no, it's too late. He's like, no, go see her tomorrow. Tell her you want it. She asks him if that's what he would do. And he says, yeah, I would stay and take the job. Felicity then kind of like rolls over. There's a lot of distance between them now on this bed. She's like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty drastic turning down an offer like this. And says, it's not like we're, He's like, yeah, maybe we should slow things down. So he says, yeah, that's probably smart. And now there's no more kissy.
I'd be like, we gotta ramp things up because we don't have much time left. Let's go
down.
No, I'm like, no, we're cranking the heat up tonight, son. There is no slowdown. Like, no.
No, I hated when he said that. I just hated that.
Yeah. I would have like smothered him with a pillow right then. Like, I'd be like, what are you talking about? We're not doing that again. We're not having that conversation again.
I know. To me, it was so reminiscent of the first two episodes of this season.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
no, are you fucking serious?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have freaked out if I was her instead of just like gone quiet. Like, if I was quiet, I would have been planning his demise. Like, that's it. Or I would have been like, no, it's go time right now. Either way, I don't know.
However, I was thinking of you, Dr. Joe, because I also think Felicity wasn't being straightforward or honest.
That's what I'm saying.
Was just like, what would you do, instead of saying, hey, I'm starting to rethink
I'm having
this.
Second thoughts.
Yeah, like she kind of asked him a question.
Like needed like that permission or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you're thinking. Like, don't play. Yeah. So I absolutely had a problem
I think
with
she
that
could have
too.
been more upfront. So she was also being cagey and weird. So then he started being cagey and weird.
He matched her energy.
Yeah.
As they say.
But they're young. Like, this is what happens. People like hold things back. And like, it was a very relatable situation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like all the way as grown as people do this too. It was just still, I was like, dang it. Come on.
It's funny though, how I feel like Ben's stance did kind of shift from the last episode. Like, he was the MVP last episode, being so supportive, like, get the offer, then we'll make the decision. And this one, he very much was more like, oh, like she's getting talked into staying and doing the internship and it doesn't look good. And I don't know, it did feel like he was a little bit more like, you're abandoning me if you don't do that. I don't know. There was a weird shift.
That she was going to go with him. It was like before the first time they talked about it, a decision hadn't been made. And now this time one had been made and she was changing her mind. So that's, I think, the difference, because like he got his hopes up instead of it's just a neutral like thing that we don't know what's going to happen yet. And this time he was definitely going to be let down.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was a little weakness in the writing. So I'm like, he was so supportive last episode that it like almost didn't make sense that like now he was going to be so weird about it. But could see
I would have been
disappointed.
Like, she already made it. Because it's switching it up. Now it's just like, what's real? Like, what are you doing? Like, can I rely on what you're saying? It's like, apparently not. Trauma wound. Just kidding. Can't trust you.
Oh, man.
I was like, probably like,
that's true.
His dad's going to be like, yes, I'll be at your swim meets or track meet or whatever. And then he doesn't show. Like, yeah, I'm going to spend the summer with you. And no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I think I still saw him being just as supportive in this episode. Or maybe it's just because later I feel like he's so good in the rest of the episodes. So maybe it's just
it was a natural response to have to be disappointed, though.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm going to play the trauma card, too, to double down on that.
We need to get you like a physical trauma card to just flash up.
Oh,
like
we should we should make merch this like a little trauma card. Hey, I'm trauma response.
Well, also in the loft, Meghan tells Sean that she's going to be a counselor at Wicca Camp in Illinois. Woot woot, shout out Illinois. So she has a lot of memorizing of potions and incantations to do, so she just can't have distractions right now. Her priority is to be the best Wiccan she can be. So last night with him was a mistake, and they have no future whatsoever.
Dang.
Again, in my notes, poor Sean, because, he just got rejected by Julie, and now Meghan's like, we have no future whatsoever. But that's, short-lived, because then Meghan says, so just one more time? He's like, yeah, and it's bang, bang, bang time.
Yep, I love that.
So, Kurt, you are into all things otherworldly on the Strange Session. So do you practice spells and incantations? Do you believe in magic? Is this, like, part of your realm here? Wicca camp.
I would love to go to Wicca. I think Wicca is really cool, actually. I would love to go to Wicca camp. But no, I don't practice any of that stuff. I do really like Dr. Joe knows that I'm like love synchronicity. Anything with synchronicities which amaze me, and I've had so many crazy ones, seeing the 1111s all the time, which I do. To me, that's more like magic, and I really, even though it's never worked for me, the whole manifesting thing, I really like the idea that we actually shape our own reality. And I think that's the stuff I believe in that's a little more subtle than casting spells and all that stuff. But I do have friends that are Wiccan and do the spells, and if they know have something coming up and I'm going to be stressed out, they do some spells and stuff, and sometimes it just
That's
helps knowing
exciting.
that they're doing that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's cool. But I'm very much into like the more subtle things, like the synchronicities and the manifestations. But that being said, I do think that there might be some potential for magic spells and stuff like that. But I just never experienced anything like that.
I'm going to have to do one for you then. Prove it.
Okay.
He's like, okay, bring it on. I would love that. Make it work.
Alrighty. So Felicity goes now back to Morton, asking if it's too late to accept the internship. And Morton says, well, maybe, because she has another student she offered it to who has a paying job that they're trying to get out of for this internship. And I said, holy Y2K, Batman. Like, you're trying to get out of a paying job to take a free internship, like free labor. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Different time.
They were very different times. Very different times.
So Morton is going to let Felicity know if that student can't get out of their paying job over the summer. But I mean, I guess if it's the Met, fine. I could see where you might want that opportunity. I think interns get paid no matter what now. I think that might be law in some states at least. I had a lot of unpaid internships in college, though. It was very unfortunate. So then back at the loft, the guys are setting up for the rehearsal dinner for Javier and Samuel. And Sean says to Ben he can't believe Felicity chose the internship. Ben says, yeah, out of nowhere. Felicity said, I wish I hadn't turned down the internship. And I was like, not exactly in those words did she say that. But, it's what she was saying with her body, I guess. And Richard says, well, now you know what it's like to be Noel.
Oh my gosh. I died.
Such a burn.
So fucking funny.
Good.
Hilarious. Oh, wow.
He's got the zingers.
Yeah. I don't know if it was this segment or the other one where he pats Ben on the
yeah,
chest and Ben says, don't pat me.
Don't pat me.
I had to pause it when I was watching it the first time because I was laughing so damn hard at Ben's don't pat me.
Don't pat me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Felicity and Elena are shopping, and Felicity, she's telling Elena about the situation with Ben and says, like, Ben couldn't care less. He freaked out and said we should just take things slow. And again, I'm also like, oh, also not exactly what happened. Like, it's just funny that they're showing how each of them interpreted the conversation. I love the little back and forth where they're, what did you call that, Dr. Joe? Is that in the editing or in the writing? But when they're like kind of having a fight, but they're not in front of each other. And it's like with the editing. I don't know. I love when they do that.
That was clever.
So then we go back to Ben. He's telling the guys, like, I told her I'll miss her, but, maybe you should take the internship. Richard's like, man, sounds like you and Chia Head are officially on the rocks, Mr. Slick. And that's where he gets
Mr.
the
Slick.
pat. And he's
That's
like,
where
don't pat me.
Don't pat me.
And also, don't call her Chia Head. I love the callback. Just so...
This was such a good Richard episode.
He's so funny.
I think there were 3 standouts in this episode. I think Ben, Richard, and Pavone were like standouts. And I think everybody did great in this episode, but I thought those 3 really stood out.
Yeah. Richard's got some good moments. There's another one later, too. Yes. So then Felicity says, now someone else is getting the internship. Elena says, well, good. Now you can just go be with Ben all summer. But Felicity says now she doesn't even know if she wants to go home. She's like, oh, stupid me. I actually thought Ben and I might be in love. Elena asks, do you love Ben? ... So now we go to Epstein where Julie meets Carol. And I felt so bad. Like, Julie looked so hopeful when Carol walked in. Ugh, crushed me.
Heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
So they sit down and Julie tells her Like, I've been doing really well. Sophomore year was great, even though like Carol didn't even ask. Like, again, just
So
so
pitiful.
painful. So painful. So then Carol says, yeah, a day didn't go by where she didn't think about calling her. Thanks.
Yeah. Yep.
Then Carol gets to the point and tells Julie that her father is sick. Julie says, how sick? But we don't hear that. Dr. Joe, I feel like I need some therapy. That was just so much between the two of them. Like, very little was said, but like Carol doesn't call her. Like, she's just kind of using her now. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
how?
that's exactly what it is. She came crawling back to her because she needed something from her, which is so shitty.
And yeah, doesn't
But at
ask
the
how
same-
she
well,
is.
Yeah.
No, that was rough. That was rough.
If Julie were your patient, like, and came to you and told you about this situation, like, how would you even advise someone? Like, I
feel like you need to talk to somebody about that. That sounds really shitty.
You're
like,
the
oh,
therapist.
I know, but sometimes I have that thought and I'm like,
Oh my God.
I'm so fucked. No, I guess it depends on what else she would say, like, besides just presenting it. Like, it's kind of hard to dig in if you don't know, like, all of, like, what did she take away from that, I guess. Like, find out a little bit later, like, is she sad about it? Is she mad about it? Is she stressed about it? Like, it kind of just depends, I guess, what is surfacing for her, and then I'd kind of go from there.
Are therapists allowed to be like, wow, your mom sounds like a stone cold bitch, or no?
I mean, I don't know if they're allowed to, but I know I definitely, like, talked some big shit, like, last week about somebody. I did. I was like, that guy sounds like a piece of shit. But it wasn't, like, somebody that they were related to. It was just, it was like a peripheral player in their life. And I was like, that guy sounds like a psycho, so do we care what he thinks? No? Like, so it happens. Yeah, sometimes they can, like, call it out for contrast purposes. But yeah.
Or to help them realize they don't need to
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was exceptionally obnoxious, though. And I did say, I was like, I am judging right now, but I don't care because he's not my patient and you are. So this is what's happening right now.
Nice. So then outside the loft, Noel meets Natalie smoking outside. She offers him a cigarette. He says no. And if he knew her better, he'd tell her to quit. She says if she knew him better, she'd tell him to screw off. Noel asks if we knew each other, how would I react? She says, you'd smile because you'd know I didn't really mean it. And so then they replay the whole scene IRL, and it's kind of cute-ish. I don't know. And he's like, I'm Noel. She's like, I'm Natalie. It gave a very film noir to me, and like she's the femme fatale, tempting him with a cigarette and all that. But also, I'm like, earlier in this season, you wanted us to believe Noel couldn't even go up to a girl at a party, like buy a keg and be like, where's the keg? And like now all of a sudden he's like got this witty banter with Natalie. Like, it just, to me, the writing, it didn't make sense. I'm like, so he can flirt with her, with the Doritos girl, but like can't pick up the girl in the art class even and talk to her. I don't know. It just, the writers, I feel like they didn't know what to do with Noel. Is he a geek or is he suave?
I'm glad what you said about the film noir thing, because that's very much what it was. And it was shot so differently that it almost took me out of the scene. I'm like, this is weird,
What's this?
Yeah. It was like from a different movie or something, it was just so
out of place
to me.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like that you noticed that, because I didn't think about it, because I was just so distracted by how thin her eyebrows were. Because I was like, no, it was just like so like of the time. Like, I'm not like trying to like judge her appearance. I'm trying to say like this was like a very like 90s, early 2000s look that she had. And I just was so distracted. So I didn't pick up on the nuances of the scene because of that. So good job, you guys.
Like, I wanted like that like sultry saxophone playing in the background.
Yeah, that would have like really tipped it off for me for sure.
Yep.
Like, hey, kid, what do you do around these parts? Like.
Yeah. No, that's it. That was pretty much dead on. Just needed the sax.
Just needed the sax. We always need
maybe
more
some
sax.
gloves. If she was wearing some gloves, that would have been cool too.
It could have been black and white, like the Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Actually, that Pretty Little Liars did an episode like that. That just reminded me, like a film noir, black and white. Yeah.
Maybe Elena was giving him tips in the background. Maybe she gave him another crash course after Ruby left, and we just didn't see it. Yeah, but you're right. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't track the season we've seen him go through. That does not track.
Well, now it's the rehearsal dinner for Javier and Samuel in the loft, so we get the whole gang together again. But Felicity and Ben aren't really talking much. Noel and Natalie are now sitting next to each other, getting to know each other. Javier and Samuel are bickering a little bit, and Meghan is giving Sean the cold shoulder. So Felicity does a little clink, clink, clink on the glass to do a toast as Javier's best man. So she stands up and says that there's no bigger romantic on this planet than Javier. He sees the best version of life. And then she looks dead at Ben and says that she admires how open and honest Samuel and Javier are with each other and just how deep that love goes. It's obviously very rare. And Ben nods. And then he gets up to add something to the speech. So Ben says, yeah, I mean, when Javier lost his visa, Samuel risked his job to get transferred to be with him. So he's like, well, when Javier told Samuel he might have to move back to Spain, Samuel actually cried. Ben cracked up. He's like, yeah, but I think it's important to remember Javier was being forced to return to his native land.
Native land.
And the guests are starting to look at each other back, like, what is going on with these two? Felicity says, well, at least Samuel cared. Ben says, well, at least Javier didn't abandon his boyfriend. She's like, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah. And cheers to the happy couple as they go back into the back room. Hilarious exchange.
That was fun.
So they go back into Ben's room. Ben's like, what was that all about? Felicity's like, I couldn't help myself. Ben says he was trying to be supportive. She's like, supportive? That was indifference. You just started talking about slowing down or backing off. Ben's like, and again, sometimes he has the most like doofus facial expressions. When he was like, I said that because I thought that's what you wanted. Like that face, this expression was so like doofus guy, like, well, I just thought that's what you wanted. Oh God, he cracked me up. And so they keep going back and forth until finally Ben just grabs her and they go at it. And Felicity tells Sally that the first time her and Ben had sex, nobody knew what they were doing in the other room. We see the whole party is silent and listening, and Javier tells them all to start talking again so it's not obvious that they know.
Oh my gosh.
So
I love that Javier says something about baseball teams.
Oh my gosh.
He says something how about their baseball teams?
So is this everything that you dreamed of for their first time? This was very different from like a Joey Pacey first time, right? Like, oh, that very romantic and candlelight and the fireplace and all that stuff. Like, this was different. Was this everything Team Ben hoped for?
I really liked it because I think it's more realistic than a lot of the super planned roses on the bed stuff. I really liked it. And I'm not one to say, oh, this scene is hot, but shit, this scene was hot. It seriously was. Yeah, holy cow. And it takes a lot for me to say that, but dang, that was a hot scene.
They built up the
I thought it
tension
was
well.
perfect. Yeah. I thought it was done perfectly. A little icked out by everybody listening to them, but
it would be impossible not to.
Yeah.
Sean's gonna go get the camera again.
Right.
Feed it under the door.
Microphone,
Oh,
well, speaking of everybody being there, and it's like, that was like at the loft?
Yeah.
It looks so good. And why doesn't Sean rent that place out more often?
It took me my second rewatch of that episode to be like, oh my God, they're in the loft. I thought they were at a restaurant at first, but it was,
Oh.
Yeah, it was the loft. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, because they're going in your room. It's like, wait a minute. Like, that's why they were like chopping up stuff in the beginning. Like, he's like catering this event or what? Like, and hosting it? Like, what is going on here? And why isn't that
push that smooth days?
Yeah, I just didn't recognize it as the loft. It took me a while.
Yeah, it looked amazing. I mean, it's fine for a first time because, like, with them, because it wasn't like her first time or his first time. So it was like, whatever. So it didn't have to have like be like dripping with like the melodramatic like romance or whatever. Like, it didn't have to, it's like, it was cool. It was all right. And it wasn't overthought. Like, she wasn't like getting in her own way with it. It was just like, so I was like, yes, go for it. Have fun.
That's true. With Noel, obviously it never happened. With David, she really overanalyzed. So this time it was just like, well, I mean, I guess the beginning episode, she wanted to wait, but then it was just like, all right, let's do this. Like, enough tension building. Yeah.
It's, I think like Kurt's saying, like, it seems like more natural that way and like not so like so much hang up about it. Like, and I feel like her wanting to wait, it didn't seem like when she said not yet, she didn't seem like afraid. Like, it seemed like she was like into the tension building maybe. I don't know. Like, it didn't seem like fear-based or like like neurotic or something or like anything like that. I was just like,
I think she just wanted a perfect time for it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't always work out like that there's a perfect time. So I think it happened the best it could have.
Yeah.
Maybe not with an audience, but
No.
it still happened.
But
It
it's so
happened the
funny.
best it
Maybe-
could have. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just have that line in my head and they had no idea what we were doing kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I have that in my head sometimes. Like you have your Felicity-isms, like sometimes that's in my head because I'm like, what a dope. Like I just think it's the funniest thing. Like so like naive and idealistic and just like clueless. Like the adorable, like innocent cluelessness of that thought. Like
I was like,
and
let
it
her
was so,
have
like,
her
the
little
secret-
romantic idea.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh no, sweetie. You're not that slick.
So then post-coital, Felicity teases Ben that he says anything. He's like, no, I say anything. She's like, only if you try really hard. She's like, it's like when you say Javier. He's like, I don't say that anymore though. And that was just such a cute little moment, and why the anything just like sticks with me forever now. So Ben says he is really sorry that she lost the internship. I mean, not entirely, but he is sorry. She's like, well, this actually worked out perfect. She flies out 2 days after him, and they'll have all summer. And I just said sigh because I don't know. Again, get the internship, girl. But
I mean,
yeah.
after that though, wouldn't you? I mean, like I would be thinking like, wow, my summer is gonna.
I mean,
be
she's
full.
gonna make the most of it. Yeah, she's gonna make the most of her summer.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then at the park, setting up for the wedding, Julie's wiping down chairs, and Ben approaches, asking if she's all right because her mom called, and she tells him that her father is sick. He needs a kidney transplant, so that's a big deal. And Carol wants her to test to see if she's a match, to see if she can help.
They're like, bitch, you want what?
Yeah. She tells Ben that she just walked out after that. She's so mad at her for everything, for not telling her father about her, for now using her when it's, convenient for her. Ben says, her mom has handled it all wrong, definitely, but her dad has been innocent in all this, and he's the one who's sick.
And I totally agreed with that.
Yeah.
That, the mom is being really not cool, but he doesn't even
Yeah, he's
know
like a
about
victim
her.
in this.
Yeah.
Like an innocent
So
bystander.
It's a hard spot to be in.
Yeah.
I loved Ben in this scene.
Yeah,
I
me
thought,
too.
I thought, yeah.
It was really
Yep.
sweet.
I thought it was interesting that she said it's kind of a big deal. And I don't know if originally I thought that, the biggest deal there is, the name of the episode, I thought maybe that's what this was referring to, because that's the second time in this episode they say something's a big deal. So I didn't know if
even
it was
catch
sex or this. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that
Like-
too. Like there's lots of big deals that happen in this episode.
Yeah.
That's where I was
Yeah.
going to take it, but yeah.
Yeah, like it's like, which big deal? The
Yeah.
biggest deal?
Yeah, I mean, Carol, the audacity is astounding.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben, I mean, two things can be
I mean-
true, as we like to say. Like the dad, he's innocent in this. He's not the one that pushed her away or didn't want to get to know her. He doesn't even know about her. But like Julie has every right to be pissed off and furious too. So
Yeah.
it's tough.
And you can't blame her for trying. As our dear Anne would say, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be kind of like crazy for her not to. It's shitty, but also
I'd like to think it was really difficult for her to do that, but I don't know.
I mean, like if it's your partner, like that you've been
Yeah.
with for decades, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I got to do to
Yeah.
save him. Then yeah, it probably. I mean, maybe she feels a little bit guilty, but probably didn't hesitate too hard to be like, maybe she exhausted her other options, and like if the rest of the family got tested, and it's like no, it's a no go. It's like okay, we got one last shot at this. Like I totally get why she did it. It just sucks that she hadn't maintained something in the interim.
Yep.
And was just like coming out the woodwork to ask for
Like,
something.
now
like,
it's
oh,
okay.
You only know
Mhm.
me when you want something kind of vibe. Like, no, get out of here.
Now it's
Yeah,
okay to
that's
admit
shitty.
to the dad that I exist. Okay.
And I don't even know that she would, because like I feel like she'd just be like, oh, like some random volunteer, like, oh, like we got lucky,
Anonymous
somebody
donor.
got tested. Because it's not clear that she's like, hey, like, why don't you come meet him and like see if this is something you'd be interested in
But
doing?
if I were Julie, I mean,
because
it-
I'm saying
it would-
she's
it
not
wouldn't-
saying like that it would even
Right.
be not a secret anymore.
Right.
Which
But
makes
if
it
I were
worse.
Julie, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to be a secret anymore. Like, if I do this, like, that's selfish maybe, but I'd be like, no, if I'm doing this,
Oh, yeah,
I'm meeting him.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think it's like implied to me in my head, I think it still would be a secret because she didn't outright be like, oh, like you should come over and hang out with the family. You know what I mean? Like we don't have any of that information.
Yeesh.
So I don't feel like it's there because we didn't see it and we didn't hear Julie say that. So I don't think that was even on the table. I think she would have still been a secret, which is horrible. So
Yeah.
horrible.
It's really shitty. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
never even
consider
thought of that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
If it
Yikes.
didn't happen, if I didn't see it on screen, it didn't happen. And Julie didn't verbalize it. So that's not, I don't think the reality that was being presented to her. I think it was just like, hey, help my man. And that was it.
Wow.
So fuck Carol.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now Felicity is getting Javier ready. She's in another gorgeous red dress, by the way. Again, I don't know if that's a callback to the list or not, but they put her in a lot of red this season. Sean comes and hands Felicity a phone call for her. It's Professor Morton. She's in for the internship. The other student couldn't get out of his
Yay.
paying gig.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Poor guy. So then Noel and Natalie arrive at the wedding together, sit by Elena and Tracy. Noel tells them that they stayed up all night walking around. Natalie's like, what? You've never done anything like that before? The way Tracy looks at Elena, I gagged. Like, why you gonna answer that? That was so good. And
So funny.
Elena responds, if we get to know each other better, I'll tell you about the things I've done. And
Great
no
comeback.
notes. God, she's
Wow.
so good.
It was just so ballsy of Natalie to say that, not knowing her. I just thought that was really shitty.
She's a little out there. I mean,
Yeah.
but she's very transparent and authentic, right? It's so easy as what you get. She's just laying it all out there. She's herself in full color
That's true, I guess.
or something. Hate it or love it. She is what she is.
So then as Meghan arrives, Sean pulls her off to the side and kind of scolds her. He's like, we've had two of the best nights ever, but you're treating me like I've offended you in some way. Like I'm housing you. I deserve even a little bit of kindness. She's like, all right, fair enough. And also he saw something and thought of her and gives her a skull necklace. She's like, oh, no one's ever given me jewelry before that I don't wear in my nose, tongue, or belly button. She always takes it in an unexpected place, that Meghan.
I don't know what it was, but I thought she was super pretty in that scene.
Oh, yeah.
I really did. Like, Meghan, when I first watched this, Meghan was my favorite character. And I remember, I think I saw clips from the end where it's at the wedding and she's hugging Felicity. And I'm like, who's that girl hugging Felicity? Like, I did not realize that was Meghan. I did not expect them to get friends. So I've loved Meghan from the start. I think she's just such a good character.
I mean, when she's not in her goth makeup, like she's almost a completely different person. Like when her parents come to visit, I don't think I would have recognized her as the same person.
She's a chameleon.
Yeah. So Javier now walks down the aisle and the ceremony's beautiful. Richard's crying. That was his other funny way. He was like, can I have a tissue, please?
You reminded me of me, like the wedding singer. Like when I get like emotional, I'm like, Richard is me and I am he. Like that's like how I would be too.
And I thought of that moment, that meme when Javier says, "You are my light." That's all of a sudden I was like I got so choked up when he's like, "You're my light." Oh my God, it was so pretty.
Yeah, I put the GIF in my notes because I was like,
that's amazing. So in his vows, Javier mentions to the whole crowd that he's going to be a freshman at UNY next year. And as Samuel says his vows, Felicity and Ben make googly eyes at each other. And that is when I kind of threw up in my mouth a little bit. I was like, ugh, like it was a little too much. Like I'm a romantic and all that, but also I'm like, okay, we get it. You like each other.
Wedding's gonna do that though.
Ugh, I know. But I was just like, oh, you are love. And when I look at you, I see love. And then she looks at Ben. I'm like, ugh, okay, we get it.
I think that was important.
I know. I'm just being cynical.
I appreciate cynicism sometimes because I am very cynical a lot. So
I'm just jealous.
I feel it.
It's fine. I admit it.
Okay.
So then now it's the reception time. There's cake and dancing, and Ben and Felicity watch from a table. And she tells him that she got the internship. So he thinks for a second, and then he asks if she's going to take it. She says, yeah. Ben says, well, then we better start dancing. And my note was hot.
Yeah,
I
saw
love-
that. You
love-
said that.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
just love that scene. I love his response.
yeah,
I think it's perfect. Just so
Yeah.
perfect.
that fucked me up real good. I was like, whoa. Yeah, because I thought, I was like, that's the hottest thing you could possibly say. You know, like, that's the best, perfect response. Like, it's like, wow, he's so selfless in that moment. And it's so sweet.
Yeah.
It made
I
up
think I kind
for.
of fell in love.
Yeah.
I fell in love with Ben this episode too myself. So
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah, yeah. It reminded me of the wedding, my best friend's wedding, like when he's like, but there will be dead soon. But, like,
Oh,
it reminded me of like that feeling, that warm feeling. It's like, okay, like let's be in the moment and, you know, be mindful and enjoy each other's company while we still got that time. And that was really sweet. I loved it.
But we know you would have been like, let's get out of here. You're like, we're leaving right now.
And like, are we talking about the horizontal mambo or
Like,
what
I
kind
don't
of
have
dance
time
you
for
mean?
dancing.
Yeah, sure, dancing. Wink, wink.
And Kurt, please forgive us. But last week I mentioned the shirt tug, the way he pulled her in to
Yeah.
the dance move. Like,
Yeah.
get me a fan.
Squirt bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hot. It 100% was
I
hot.
think that
on
was
the-
hotter than the sex scene. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. So not just the words, but then, yeah, his charisma, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
again,
Were they-
she could be a mop,
were-
but it was good.
Were they dating at this time in real life? I don't remember, but there's like some of the chemistry with with
Yeah,
these two in these
'cause there's
scenes is
times
just
when they're,
amazing.
Like, they were dating, but also not dating at some
Yeah.
point because they didn't date
Yeah.
the entire time. So I'm like, where's the
No.
line of when they were dating and not dating?
But some of that chemistry is just damn. You know, I mean, it's just
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So,
That would be wild though. Like if this was like a post breakup and like still what they're bringing to the
Yeah.
scenes, like
Yep.
that's amazing.
yeah.
That's the height of professionalism. But I'd be like, I'd like to be unprofessional for a few minutes.
I know they were dating at some point during season 2 because they were dating when she cut her hair and he didn't like
Uh-huh.
it. And he says,
Uh-huh.
like, now in hindsight, he's like, I was a bad boyfriend. He was like, yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
love the haircut. So I know at some point in season 2, I don't know when they broke up though.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta Google that. I need to know.
So then we see Noel and Natalie are talking, and this maybe gets to your point. I forgot which one of you said it, I
Loves
think Kurt, you
dose.
said like just loves being in love with love.
Yeah.
He says that he feels more of a connection with her, Natalie, after just 24 hours than he's had with like anyone ever. Yeah. And Natalie's like, do you think it could be because you're still heartbroken over Ruby? He's like, and I'm just desperate for a connection anywhere. Maybe. But he doesn't care. He says he spent the past year trying to be the nice guy and accommodating everyone, and he's sick of it. And Natalie asks if he ever feels like doing something dangerous, scary, impulsive, and wild. And he chugs his champagne.
Oh no.
I hate that he thinks that it sounds like he thinks he deserves something for being a nice guy.
The entitlement.
Because then there's an ulterior motive to being the nice guy.
Then it's not genuine. Yes, exactly. I had that highlighted.
Okay, that didn't sit.
Because I'm like trying
Yeah.
to be like you
It didn't sit well with me.
trying to do the right thing,
Yeah.
trying to be the nice guy and kind and understanding, and I'm sick of it. I'm like,
Yeah.
why did you have to try to do that? Why isn't that just your natural state? If you're such a nice guy,
Yeah.
like, but you have to like
Yep.
put on this show and like force it, like, so that
Yep.
just gave me the ick because it just again doesn't feel very genuine or authentic when he's done all these
Nope.
quote unquote nice things. It's like, why? It's like it's not. You're just doing it to get something. It's like transactional. It's not like genuinely like I'm so thoughtful.
Yep.
So that's gross.
And my thing too was like, I don't think he spent the past year trying to be nice guy. Like,
Yeah, like what year
He
were
was-
you
I'm
in?
not.
well,
Yeah,
Were we
Yeah,
watching
like
the
the
same
start of this
season?
year.
So I'm
he was
like,
he was upset about Ruby. They took time apart. Like he was maybe kind of being a friend to her. Like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't think he was really all that accommodating until maybe toward the end that he was like really supportive with her. So I was like, really spent the past year? Like she's been pregnant a couple months. So yeah, I thought
yeah.
it was a
And like with
little like
Felicity,
whiny.
he was an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, he was just. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
shitty to her.
Super like, yeah, just entitled and like the world owes him something. Like, why?
Mhm.
That's not a cute look.
Yeah, that on this rewatch, that specific sentence, like, oh, I spent the year trying to be a nice guy and so accommodating
Mhm.
to everyone. And I was like, oh, you're the
Just
like
stop being a victim.
nice guys on TikTok. You know, it's like, oh yeah, oh, I'm such a nice guy. And they're the ones that like ghost you or, you know, treat you like shit. And they like
yeah,
pretend to
those
be
are
the
like
nice
crazy
guys.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
like those
yeah.
aren't like real nice people. They're not like they just like put themselves into that box because they're not like the sexy Ben, I think. And so they have to pick the nice guy lane, but they're not nice people. They're not nice people.
And then Julie is sitting by herself, staring off into space when Javier grabs her to dance because nobody's going to pout at his wedding. So now everyone's dancing. They're all coupled up. It's all very cute. And Felicity tells Ben that she doesn't want him to leave tomorrow, and they keep slow dancing.
Did you see Richard looking for somebody to dance with in the background of one of those?
I was looking at all the couples.
Yeah.
I
I
missed it.
sad.
Yeah, he's out like he's
Like
kind of
cruising?
behind somebody, but he's kind of like looking around for somebody to dance with.
Somebody
And
to
it's
grab.
really subtle and it's really easy to miss. I only
Aw.
saw it on my last rewatch.
I love him. Like
Yeah.
he's like one of my favorite
I was
characters.
probably too much in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I was like admiring, like I saw like one same-sex couple and I saw some other couples. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I was like kind of like wishing I saw like a little bit more, and I was like, oh, like they know more people than these college kids, so that's kind of cool. But so I was, yeah, I wish I would have seen that. Like I saw like Meghan and Sean dancing, and but yeah, damn it, I've got to go rewatch that. I love Richard.
I mean, Tracy and Elena, I think I noticed how cute they were together again.
Yeah, them too.
And
yeah.
realizing, like, oh, again, Elena has no plot in this episode
Yeah.
except just like girl talk a little bit and like supporting Noel. But yeah, that was my biggest thing from the dancing was like, oh, the two of them are so cute and you've given them nothing again. So then the next morning, Felicity's still sleeping in Ben's bed while he is looking at his plane ticket. His alarm goes off and they spoon some more. So Sean's cleaning up in the loft when the phone rings. It's Elena looking for Noel. Says that Natalie was supposed to fly back and didn't show up, and half of Noel's stuff is gone, and he left a
Wow.
note saying, see you in September, maybe.
Maybe. I love that.
She says she doesn't trust that girl. I dislike Natalie. I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
Oh, I do too. Yep.
Oh, I think she's kind of funny, but I don't like her either. But I like seeing Tracy in the background just eating his cereal, like taking it all in. And I was like, oh, did he spend the night? Because this is the morning and he's not, Noel's not there in the morning. So that was kind of nice. Like, even though they're whole, like, like not doing the sex stuff, I was like, oh, well, that's nice if they could just snuggle all night. And he's there just, he's there for the tea, He's just observing like these crazy people.
And I do like that Elena is basically Noel's sister. So checking up on him. Have you heard from him? I always loved their friendship, brother sisterly type friendship. And then we see Julie at a payphone calling Carol, but when Carol answers, Julie hangs up. So she's clearly still weighing her decision and feeling a lot of things. Then we see Sean laying on the couch doing literally nothing. Like staring off into space, sitting on the. I'm like, get a job, do something. Like, it's just
He's had his heart
laying there.
broken
This
twice
proper
in the
rotting
past
the
couple
day
of
after a
days.
wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like he just hosted a bunch of people for a rehearsal dinner at his
He got
place.
dumped
to
by
clean up his
Julie. He
shit.
basically got dumped by Meghan.
Yeah, that's proper rotting.
But he doesn't
I
even
love
have
it.
a phone to scroll in the year 2000. Like, he's literally just staring at the ceiling.
I
That's
love
what
it.
we did back then.
I
That's-
guess. I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, Meghan comes back to the loft and she's wearing the skull necklace. And I'm like, why am I always on necklace watch? I'm always watching for
Because nobody else
Felicity's-
is gonna do it.
I know, no one else. That's my battle to fight.
Across to bear.
Just doing the Lord's work. So she comes up to Sean and tells him that she quit Wicca camp. So she tells Sean that her parents have a villa in Tuscany and they're not going to be there all summer. She asks him if he wants to go for a couple of months. And of course, Sean's got literally nothing better to do. Of course he's going to go to Tuscany.
And he doesn't have to put in notice at a job because he ain't got no job. So
Doesn't,
he
have to pay for
take
the
off
vacation.
For vacation. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, of
I
course.
thought that was such a cute scene, though. I love that scene.
It is.
very sweet.
And very fast, no, for them to be going out of the country on a summer trip already after two
So,
one night stands, two
I
night
don't think
stands.
Megan thinks about things before she does
Yeah.
them a lot. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's out of character
Like,
for her.
It was too fast for Felicity and Greg to go to do their
Mhm.
little overnight thing. But this, I didn't give a second thought other than like, who the fuck be
Yeah.
having villas in Tuscany? Although I do know somebody who does. Like, I don't know them. Like, my friend's husband's parents have one, and they honeymooned at his parents' villa in Tuscany. I'm like, this fucking bitch. So I was just like thinking about that, and my jealousy creeped up. But whatever. Besides that, I thought it was just an adventure, not a like, oh, we're taking it to the next level kind of thing. It's just like more of like an adventure. Like, let's
Gotcha.
just do this fun, spontaneous thing, not like, oh, we're gonna get married now.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, and Kurt, you're right that like she doesn't really. She just
Yeah, it's like
it's very
impulsive.
spontaneous. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go
Spontaneous.
stay with what's his face, Swain, in the mail room," and that didn't work out. And like she,
Yeah.
She just lives
She's-
moment to moment. And
Yeah.
It's like, and yeah, so yeah, I don't think it's too soon in that regard because it's just like going to hang out with friends basically. Because she'll probably have friends everywhere she goes, and they'll probably
Mhm.
just party there, and it'll be fun.
Tuscany. I mean, that sounds amazing to me.
I'd be happy with a villa anywhere.
True.
It doesn't have to be Tuscany. We're not
True.
picky.
Yeah.
We're not demanding.
All right, Dr. Joe, buckle up. Outside the loft, Ben's getting in a taxi, and Felicity tells him to call her when he gets there, and like, don't worry, the summer's gonna go by fast. Ben tells her, if you hate it, the internship, you can always come home. She's like, yeah, I thought about that. And then he says, they'll figure this out. It's only for a summer. So they kiss and hug. He takes a big exhale and says, I love you. She says, I love you. And a single tear drops from her eye. Like, I don't know how Carrie Russell does it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm literally gonna cry.
Roll the meme again.
Hey, a meme.
I'll admit that I did get teary the first time I saw that scene. I really
That's
did.
good.
So
Yeah.
for me,
Yep.
not the first time because I would have been like 12 or 13 or whatever, but on my rewatches, I do, because especially when you watch it more in the binge watching that we do these days, it's like it all just comes to that moment and you see how much Ben has gone through to get to that point, and yeah, it's very meaningful.
Yeah.
And
The
then
delivery.
he says, you be careful. And I'm just like, that was even better
Aw.
almost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so sweet. It's like there's so much depth there. That performance was great from both of them. It's like I felt it. I felt a lot of
Mhm.
things, but I felt that too.
I mean, it's just their performances were so subtle. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
exhale he takes, like he's almost working up
Yeah.
the courage, and then he's like,
Yes.
and he just says it. And that tear from her, just the one little tear, makes me teary. And she gets like the vein in her forehead when she starts to cry. So this is where I was going to bring up the biggest deal there is. Okay.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
the beginning of the episode, they position it as sex is the big,
Yes.
that's a big
Yes.
deal. This is obviously the biggest deal, right?
This is
Yeah.
the biggest fucking
Okay.
deal for
Yep.
him to say that.
yeah.
Because I was like, whoa, he said I love you. That's a big fucking deal. I'm like, the biggest fucking deal. It's like, that is the biggest deal there is. For
Yeah,
him
that's
to
good.
get
I didn't
there.
even notice that. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. No, like,
No,
oh
That's
my gosh.
that's awesome.
That's such a
Well,
big
and
deal.
the-
I can't
and the
believe you said
question
that.
came up multiple times throughout the episode. Pavone was, oh, well, that's what love's about. She's like, well, no one said it yet. And Elena asks, are you in love with Ben? We don't hear it, right? So we don't even know what she was thinking. Maybe we're in love, right? But that's also like what freaked him out in the beginning of the season when she tells Sally, I think this might be love. That's what freaked him out. And now he's the one that said it first.
Chills.
Mhm.
Chills.
Mhm.
I'm not even sweaty, but I'm probably going to be sick later because, like, my body just went through a lot of things in a short amount of time.
It always kind of, I didn't like that so much of this was on Felicity if she's going to take it or not. Where they discuss that Ben can't stay because he needs money, but I wish that he would have tried a little more to stay in New York.
If he could have had
You
some
know,
more
because-
conflict.
Yeah, because he just kind of was like, no, I need the money.
Almost like his turn to follow her. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's still showing growth, though. Like, it's because we have to see arcs from everybody pretty much. Like, so we see her, like, being able to choose herself, and we see him being able to choose love. Like,
Yeah.
So there's still some growth there, even if he didn't have to have a conflict. Like, his internal conflict was, like, being able to allow himself to love and be loved, and he overcame that. So still
And I
pretty
do
good
think
stuff.
it's a bigger growth opportunity for her too to be away from him also. Because like she said, I can't babysit the relationship. So like to me,
Yeah.
it's almost
Yep.
a better growth experience for both of them if they spend the summer apart, like see
Yeah.
that it's possible and be independent. So yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't have him stay.
Yeah,
think.
I think
Yeah.
that makes it more impactful. Like
Which
more
I thought
meaningful.
of. Yeah, which I thought of a little bit later. So I'll bring that up again.
I did too.
Yeah. I was wondering if it was intentional, and Dr. Joe says everything's intentional, so we'll get there, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, keep going.
So,
Let's get there.
Yeah. Okay. So then Ben gets in the taxi and leaves, which again I thought was a nice parallel to season 1 where Felicity's the one getting in the taxi. Well, this time it was Ben and leaving. So Felicity goes back to Ben's room to wallow in his bed, and we see, well, I guess not much later, Ben's at the gate. And this is where I thought they were going to have him reconsider, like, just kidding, and he's going to run back, right? So she's in.
That's what
I
I
really
thought too.
thought
Yep.
it too.
She's
Yep,
in the bedroom.
yep.
The
I
phone
think we all
rings,
thought that.
and it's like, is it
Yep.
Ben? Is he coming back? Like, I didn't get on
Yeah.
the plane. Like Friends, right? Did he get on the plane? And so that's where I was like really glad they didn't have him fail. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the phone rings and it's not Ben, it's Dr. Pavone. So Felicity goes to meet her. Pavone is, of course, proud of her for taking the internship. And, she just wanted to talk to her to let her know she wasn't being flipped before about Ben. Pavone says, as a therapist, she doesn't like to talk about her own stuff and her life. But she shows Felicity a photo of her husband, Joe, that he was in the Air Force and they were apart for 4 years on and off. She's like, you get through it. She said, more than that, you chose yourself over a guy, over Ben. Do you realize what that means? You're growing. You're making real choices, adult choices. And Felicity says, I just wish growing up felt a little better. That's my angsty away message of the week.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
real
Stay away
angsty.
message. Yep.
So relatable.
And Pavone says, well, then it wouldn't be growing up, which is so true. Like you're growing into a better person, a more interesting person, but like, damn, sometimes it really
hard.
sucks and it hurts.
Yep.
And
But
that
at what
was
cost?
Like, to me, when I saw this scene with Pavone, to me, this was almost a bookend to the depths where they have the discussion about best friends and that you earn best friends. And I think that's what she's saying here is that love is a process. It's not just a declaration. You have to get through some shit in order to really be in love and to appreciate what love is. That's how I took this.
Oh my gosh.
That it's
More chills.
But yeah, I just thought it was but maybe it's just because I love the depth so much. I try to force a bookend to there. But I think that's what I
good.
saw it as, is that you can't just say, oh, we're in love. It just has to be earned. It can't just be, yeah. So I love this scene. I love, I wish they could, I don't know how they would do it, but if there is a reboot of the show or whatever, I wish they could shoehorn Pavone into it because I would love to see her again.
I literally just thought of that today driving in the car, like thinking about the episode.
Yeah.
It's like, what if they got like Amy
It's like,
Aquino? What's she
I don't know
doing?
how
Like,
they-
get her in there.
Just very active on Instagram. I follow her and I'm like, oh, like she's like very active and outspoken. I'm like, well, just say hey and ask her to join.
I just don't know how they could do it without it being really contrived, but I would love to see.
I would forgive it. I would give it a pass.
Yeah.
Like if
I'm
it was
like-
contrived or
totally.
not.
Like
I
a
wouldn't care.
retirement
Totally.
honoring Dr. Pavone for her years of service. I don't know. There's some way to make it work, even for one episode. Bring her back.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, something. Or like, I don't know. We'll have to think on that and pass that
I just
note
love
along.
her character. I love her
I
character.
do too. I do too.
I feel like her character says what the audience is thinking, and I always love when they kind of do that.
And this very much was like Sally stand-in because she even talked about Joe,
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
like Sally
Yep.
talked about John, Joe,
Yep.
Joel. So yeah, to me, that little peek into the adult, quote unquote, adult's life and like how they've gotten through those moments. So it was very Sally. But also, I just loved Pavone's tone with Felicity was so different this episode. She's like, hey, you, I hear you have the best. Like, there was so much like tenderness between them when she was very feisty in the beginning and like, not combative's the wrong word.
Just
I don't-
confrontational.
Confrontational or
therapeutic confrontation.
Yeah, but there was, there was more tension between them at the beginning of their relationship, and now it's just like all tenderness and hey, you, and oh, I love that kid with Ben, and it was just such a sweet ending for those two.
Part of that, more the way Pavone changed, is also because Felicity changed, because she was more resistant in the beginning, and now she's more receptive. So that is also a shift. So she's again, like, that energy matching is happening. Like they're changing alongside each other.
Yeah. So then Felicity goes to the rooftop at night where she watched the gold rush with Ben just a couple of episodes ago, and she's smiling, thinking of Ben as the episode closes.
Dang.
I thought it was perfect.
It was great. I think I mentioned last episode, but I love the parallel of, like, there's a choice, but it's not between two guys. It's between herself and a guy, and she chooses herself. There's still a little bit of suspense with some of the characters, like what's going on with Noel, what's Julie going to do, but it's not the, like, oh my God, I can't wait
Like
all
the biggest
summer. Who did she
cliffhanger.
pick? Yeah. And like there is a
I-
little tension, like what might happen, but they're in love. Like, I don't think anything crazy will happen over the summer.
No, I remember it was a big thing when the show was first aired. Who's she gonna pick? Ben or Noel?
Yeah.
And it was a huge thing that summer. So I love that in the second season they went with the opposite of that, where it's just, you're not left hanging they would have really had to force something in there to make another Ben or Noel. And I love that they didn't try.
That was a great end to the season.
Yeah. I love Pavone's advice. It's everything that I thought college would be too. Like, oh, over the summer you have an internship at the Met, and it's just it's pretty. You have a gorgeous boyfriend, and it's definitely aspirational, but
Aspirational, yeah.
also relatable.
Yeah.
Well, we gave our top 3, bottom 3 rankings, but any final thoughts on season 2 as we wrap up today?
Like the ending of the season way more than the beginning of the season.
For sure. I think most
I
people
thought
can agree on that.
Yeah, the run of the final episodes was really good.
Yeah.
It was just the beginning was painful. Well, just
No, I agree.
Well, and I'm not saying that it sucked. I'm just saying it was painful to watch.
Yeah.
I think it was a solid season, though. You guys know my heart is with season 1, but I thought this was a really, really good follow-up to it.
Yeah, I mean,
And I totally agree with what Jamie said in her email, that she doesn't want to, that these are her 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Which I totally get.
Yeah, I mean, season 1 is pretty much flawless, in my opinion.
Season 1, yeah.
So yeah, I think season 2, after the first few episodes, struggled a little bit to find its footing, but I'm pissed that people stopped watching after the haircut, because I still love this show so much, and I rewatch all 4 seasons. Season 2 I absolutely love as well. I'm glad that it goes out on a high, because the last, from the election onward, it's just gold. So season 3 and 4 I agree, and there's definitely changes that happen, I think, from pressures from the network, but I love all of it. So I'm still excited to get into seasons 3 and 4.
I am too. I think there's some really interesting things that happen. Even if I don't like all of them, I think they're more interesting.
Yeah.
So,
wow. That's a wrap on season 2. I can't believe it. We're halfway through.
Yeah.
Kurt's been podcasting for 10 years, and here I am year 2. Oh my God. So we are going to take a very short break before jumping into season 3, but we want everyone to stay in touch on Instagram at Felicity Was Here Pod, where we will definitely keep you all updated. You'll be the first to know when we're coming back for season 3. Again, wanted to send Melissa our love. And thank you so much, Kurt, for joining. It's been
Thank you guys for having me on.
Pleasure for having.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having
fun.
me on. It has been a blast. I'm so glad I was able to help out in Melissa's absence. So I'll be happy to hear her on here again when you guys resume. So thank you guys so much for having me. It was a blast.
Thank you. Alrighty, well that does it for Felicity Was Here season 2. See you all at season 3. Bye.
Bye.
Felicity Was Here is produced, written, and edited by Heather, Melissa, and Dr. Joe. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Felicity Was Here Pod. If you're enjoying the pod, please leave us a review and help us spread the word. We appreciate you and would love to hear from Felicity superfans like us. So send us your feedback, ask us your burning questions, or just say hey at felicitywasherepod@gmail.com. We may even read your note in a future episode.